Those who hunger, Tuesday, Psalm 42, 1 through 3. Um, man, really just kind of circled around and around and around on this idea of the deer panting for the water and my soul thirsting for God, for the living God. I asked myself, what if the deer what if the deer doesn't find the stream? What if my throat never again touches water? Like, what a deep need that is. And I began to think, am I aware of that need? And then boom, I found myself right back in poor in spirit. And I realized, I think maybe as I was processing through how poor in spirit I am and we are, that I did combine in that almost simultaneously. It was almost without even thinking that as I pondered poor in spirit, like boom, I was there mourning. And I don't know if I got to meek, but definitely hungering and thirsting for God. Even though, in my own studies, I want to keep coming back to this idea of hungering and thirsting for righteousness. Righteousness, being in a right relationship with God and with others, which includes the behaviors that are marks, demonstrations of that right relationship. I want to keep coming back and meditating on what that means for me. But today, I just was stuck at how deep my need was for God again. Do I thirst for Him like a deer pants for water? And because I think that sometimes we just don't have the context to realize how much we need Him, like how much we are dying without our portion of God in our daily lives. The Bible says that God breathed into the nostrils of humanity, and that humanity, it says, and Adam became a living person, soul. The word is nephesh, and it literally means throat. That's why I thought I was. It's where the breath comes from, and so it's the life. It's my life. It's my soul. It's where. It's my inner self, and then so what if my throat, my nephesh, my soul never touches water again? Like I'm panting for God, the living God, like the deer pants for the water, and so this idea that God breathed into Adam, and Adam became a living nephesh. That my nephesh, my soul pants for God, like a deer panting for water. A deer pants for water because without water, the deer dies. Like my most basic need, for my soul, for myself, for my identity. God is my most basic need. Oh, I forget what homeboy's name was who did the hierarchy of needs. Just ask Billy or Sarah and they can tell us. But the hierarchy of needs that first our physical needs need to be met, and then we have emotional needs, and all the way up to self-actualization. But sometimes those hierarchies are sometimes people can self-actualize in the midst of poverty, and so we just have all these needs jumbled up inside of us, and sometimes we focus so much on these other needs because they're so right in our face. Like, man, we need to be safe, like we need to not die, like we need to eat so that we don't starve. Like there's these real needs that are in front of us, and those are all real, and sometimes people, we can all be blind to our most basic need, which is God. And I want hunger and thirsting for righteousness for me. Maybe today is to learn to walk with an understanding of my most basic need, and maybe love others, even help meet the needs of others that may be standing between them and their understanding of their most basic need for God. that maybe in loving others, we can make space for them to see their need for God, even as we hunger and thirst for it for ourselves. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied.